Hey, Bastish B out for 64K and welcome to episode number 34 of Pop Culture Quick Bytes. And welcome back. So in today's episode we're going to have a look at a new handheld system by Megatech. It's called the Super Pocket. Okay, so let's first take a look at the box, what's included, and a visual look at the system itself. And here it is, the Super Pocket. This is the Capcom variant. I'll explain more about that later. It's also fully Evercade compatible with all their cartridges, USB included. Got a really sleek design, very similar to a Game Boy Pocket. And here's the little quick guide you get, gives you the main functions of the system. And we got 4 shoulder buttons at the back as well. And this is a little size comparison to a Game Boy Color. You can see it's almost the same size. So this little system is made by a company called Megatech. What they've done is they've got the license from Blaze Entertainment to be able to use all the Evercade cartridges in this system as well. So this is fully compatible with all Evercade cartridges at the back here. Now there's 2 different variants of this. There's the Capcom variant you can buy, and there's also the Taito variant. Each one of them coming with a whole selection of built-in games, depending on which company you bought. And plus also you have the access to all the Evercade library. So this Capcom variant that I got, it's got 12 games on it, 11 arcade games and 1 NES game. Let's take a quick little look at some of the games featured. So the biggest asset of the system is being able to expand the games library with the entire Evercade cartridge line. Let me show you how you do that. Flip the system over, take out the placeholder, slap in your cart. I bought the Delphine collection. This was separate, obviously. This is one of their many packs. A whole bunch of classic Amiga games. Flip it back, hit the menu, go to Evercade, and there we are. Yeah, you have your new selection. Here's a little bit of Flashback, the classic game from that company. So currently Evercade have over 50 different cartridges available, stacked with games. I'm looking at the Commodore 64 ones, the Toe-Plan Shooter collection, the Duke Nukem stuff. There's so much more that I'm really interested in. It's a good mix of arcade and console games, both classic and old, and even a lot of old computer games, which is pretty awesome. And I think that's the big thing that takes this handheld from being, you know, a simple novelty that has a few built-in games that you'll play for a few days and then discard. You know, we've all done that before. This takes it to the next level as far as I'm concerned, because now it becomes a legitimate handheld system that you can use on the go all the time, swapping out cartridges, playing different variations. So I think that simple addition takes this system right up to the next level. The screen quality here is really exceptional. It's hard to really show in this video, and so is the sound. And you can hit this menu button at any point and access, load and save games. You can check out the controls for every single game setup. You can change displays. You got original, pixel perfect, full screen, and a whole bunch of subtle scan lines. We'll choose full screen with subtle. That's how it looks. Okay, so my overall impression of this system is extremely good. Let's look at some of the positives first. The screen is absolutely glorious to look at. It's very hard in these videos to actually capture how vibrant this screen actually looks, but when you see it in reality, I think you'll be extremely impressed. I was a little bit concerned at what the shoot 'em ups were going to be looking like, you know, especially if you're doing the arcade aspect ratio. Is it going to be too small? Am I going to be able to see the bullets? Everything looks really good. I've played 1942 and a whole bunch of other stuff that's on this system, and it all works extremely well. The sound is it's also hard to capture for this video. The sound is very nice. It's loud. You can have it up really good. It's got an earphone jack at the bottom, so you can have headphones on, which I think is awesome. That is often disregarded when it comes to some of these things when they try and make them cheaply. Again, this is very cheap, this system, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like quality. It's got weight to it. The buttons, the D-pad, everything is extremely well made. So the only really negative thing I could say about this system is the placement of the shoulder buttons. It feels a bit awkward, I'm not gonna lie. I've only got one game I can really test that out with, and that's Street Fighter, and it feels a little bit odd, you know, to play it that way. The high punch and high kick, you know, the strong punch, strong kick. It feels like a little bit hard to press, you know, like the way you're holding the system. That's what I'm trying to say. So it does make playing that game awkward. Every other game I have is all like 2 or 3 button games, so it doesn't really affect that at all. And that's what you really should be focused on, I think anyway. Yeah, these buttons are placed a little bit weird, but what type of games are you going to be playing on this? For me, it's going to be retro computer games. Generally use 1 button. Arcade games are 2 or 3 for the most part, the ones that I'm interested anyway. So is this going to really affect it too much? Probably not. So basically you got to ask yourself whether that's important to you. Having access to the entire Evercade library, I think, is the biggest plus for this system. It takes it from a novelty, like I said earlier, into a full-blown actual system that you'll use when you go on vacation or wherever you're going. You can play games on the go. I think that is pretty fantastic for what you get. And that's it for another episode. I'll leave links in the video description so you can pick one of these up if you're interested. Thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K. I hope you had a good time. And if you can please like and subscribe, that'll be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.